God bless you, siblings. I'm gonna get right into this vision I had yesterday morning. I awoke and I was just like, "Uh oh, where am I at?" Like, because of how real this was. So I typed it up. So I'm gonna be reading off the screen right now, and start off from where it began. I was driving off this bridge. There's a bridge and where I used to live called Hanover Avenue Bridge, and I'll put the picture up right there on the screen. I'm gonna do some photoshopping so you can see what I see. So I'm gonna go off. I was driving over the Hanover Bridge, heading east. It was daytime, so just picture a day sky. As I was heading east, the sun was to the left of me, above. Okay. So I was driving in the daytime. The sun was just to my left. I remember just seeing. Okay. I guess I was visiting my mom. I remember just seeing her. I don't know where I was, but I was driving on my way back. Who knows where? But I was headed toward east on that Hanover Bridge. As I'm driving, I looked to the sun. I looked toward the sun while I was driving. So as I'm driving over the bridge, I look. I'm always looking up, so I look to the sun. I see it there. It was a clear sky from what I understand because the sun was out. So I'm driving, and then this is what's crazy. So the sun's on my left, and then I see a meteor like going from the right hand to the left side, almost like it was gonna cross in front of the sun, but it didn't get to it. It was just crossing by. Now I'm talking about daytime, day sky, bright, right? So I seen this meteor passing toward the sun, but the thing was, the meteor as it appeared in the sky was green. So you know how they have like a trail that's a green trail. Well, this one was green. Then it went from green to red. After it went red, it disappeared for like 5 seconds. So I saw it across the sky. Sun's here. I saw it come across, right? Then it turned red and kind of disappeared. As soon as it turned red, it kind of like disappeared, right? So for like 5 seconds. Then all of a sudden, that meteor, and while it disappeared, boom, it hit something in outer space, or just outside of our atmosphere or whatever. But it didn't. It went like toward the sun. Like I knew that there was something there. So you got the sun. There was something there that it hit. Now I couldn't see what was there. Like I didn't see. It was probably one of those planets, that binary system. But so I seen it hit. So I wrote here as it hit, I saw a red shockwave. Now when this thing hit, I saw an impact, and I just saw like a fire and just like an explosion. You know what I mean? Just boom, and as it hit, a shockwave came in a form of a ball. You know those old plastic toys that they're like plastic, a whole bunch of lines that when you open up, the ball just gets bigger and you can shrink it. Well, I want you to picture that because I saw like lines, different type of zigzag lines. As this thing hit, whatever was there, it hit, and then I saw the fire, I saw the explosion, and then it just the shockwave just, whoo, and it went in all directions. Um, Now I'm driving as I saw this. As it hit, I saw a red shockwave, like the form of a ball. The shockwave got so massive it came toward the earth so fast. So, from what I understand, this meteor must have been massive for me to see it, and then two, for the explosion to just that shockwave just to be so massive. Okay, so the shockwave got so massive it came toward the Earth so fast. I saw it coming from outer space toward the Earth, meaning it came from that direction toward us, toward the Earth. I saw it coming from outer space toward the Earth. As it came, it was hitting everything in sight. As it hit up in space, the shockwave came this way, from the sky to the earth. So I just saw like if I'm standing here, this I just saw this wave just coming, and it kept passing me, kind of like a tsunami does, but the shockwave did that. Okay. Um, it came as it came toward me. I swerved from the force. My windshield cracked, and the hood of my and the all right. So this is where it gets a little bit detailed. As the swerve came, as the shockwave came in, like boom, I swerved and I crashed into it. I hit the median, right? Because of how much force blast this thing had coming from outer space. But what came with it is the crazy thing. So I swerved from the force. My windshield cracked, and the hood on my roof was now on fire. So this shockwave came with, I don't know what type of elements that it made certain parts of the earth and my roof hit fire. So I saw trees on fire. I saw people get on fire. Like that's how crazy this shockwave was. Okay. Uh, as I swerved, I hit the median, but regained control after it passed me. So it passed so fast that, I boom hit. I saw what looked to be a trolley car. Like there was what looked to be a trolley car in the street, but it also looked like a store. I don't know what that symbolizes. I don't know if this is an actual place. I don't know if this is. It looked like I was telling you, Hanover, but it could have been another place. Anyways, I'm not sure. Anyway, so I saw this trolley car, and it lost power. Like it was coming and it lost power. When it lost power, all the doors locked. They couldn't unlock it. They couldn't turn it on. Nothing. Not only that, but the power where we were at in the United States just went off from the shockwave. Um, I saw people's powers to their cars, homes, etc., losing power. My car shut off and on for that moment. You know what's funny is I don't remember now, right now, as I'm recording it, I don't remember my car shutting off. So it's a good thing when you get visions and dreams that you start writing it down immediately. My car shut off and on for that moment. Anyone that was in the street got caught on fire, some died. But what came with this wave, the wave messed up people's mind because they were now like going crazy, right? Like a certain part of their mind, um, I don't know how to explain it. It was almost like the free will that people was now. Let me continue. Um, like it was going crazy, and I wrote here like more. The people that were in the trolley car, I saw it as I was driving, and it almost like time slowed. I saw it was locked because of the power. That were in there began to shoot the clerk in there, and were shooting the door to get open. So they panicked. They were going crazy. They started the door would unlock, so they started boom boom shooting the door to try to get it unlocked. Now they didn't think twice about killing this person. Um, People on fire. Others, not just in the trolley car, but there was people on fire. Others began robbing and killing others. It was like their humanity left them. So once they got hit with the wave, they like they switched, and it was almost like their heart's desires, their true nature, their true evil instincts just kicked in. They had no humanity in them. It was just like, I'm gonna do what I want. Oh, you're my boom, boom, boom. They started. So I started hearing gunshots like crazy, people screaming, people dying. I sped up to get to whatever house I was going to, and I don't know what house that was, but I knew the house I was going to. A family members was of the A family member of mine was there. Up to warn my family and people that were in this house. I saw muggings, I saw shootings, I saw guns killing, I saw fighting, I saw robbing, stabbing. It was like it was like this wave did something to their psyche. So uh, what I did is I just got back to this home. The car that I was in took a beating from this wave. Like, it was beat up, it was damaged within that crash. I probably got bullet holes from somebody. I don't know. Somehow I was cut on my neck to chest. So this is the crazy part. So I was cut from here down to my chest. Like, there was a literal cut. I don't know how I got it. Maybe it was from the accident. Something sliced me. I have no idea. Maybe from the clash. Maybe glass shattered and sliced me. I don't know. I remember having the cut elsewhere, and I think I remember I think I had a cut on my arm too. Like, it was like a nasty gash, even from here to here. It was bad. But it didn't hurt, and I didn't see no bleeding. But nonetheless, um, I remember her cut somewhere else. Crazy. You know what the crazy thing is as I was typing this, I'm gonna read this. The crazy thing is I feel the cut. I feel where the cut was on my neck and to the chest. As I was awake typing this, I felt it. I was just like, why do I feel? And then, I was like, why do I feel? Like, I was wondering why I feel like this vision was so intense that it was almost like that feeling was confirmation of what I saw in the spiritual realm. Okay. So there was some type of moon or planet there. I am telling as I write this, I feel in my flesh the scar I had in the vision on my chest. This is just crazy. I even I even touched it, the scar, or where I felt the scar. And when I touched it, I felt a soreness right along that area, and I'm like, whoa. So again, this is how intense this vision was, that it manifested somehow in the flesh. All right, there is a planet or moon we cannot see in the sky that this meteor hit. Like, once it hit, I kind of saw like a shock, or the shockwave kind of went around whatever moon planet was, and then it came hit us. So I get to this home. There was some kids there. They were in the house. One of my uncles was there, and my one of my wife's uncles was there, which is crazy. Um, so I get to this house and I tell all who's inside what just happened and what I saw, what I experienced. They even see this cut and they don't think nothing of it. And for some reason, the cut like got stitches, and I don't remember ever stopping to get stitches or anything like that. But nonetheless, um, and I was telling them what just happened and that they don't go outside because there was robbing, shooting, mugging, stabbing, everything you could think of. People were doing. So again, I see my wife's uncle. I tell them, but they don't believe me. Thus, even seeing the scar on my neck, which I wasn't like showing them, but it was the scar there. Even though they heard gunshots, because while I'm telling you, you'll hear shotgun blast, you hear gun blast, AK, whatever, you know. Even though they hear the gun shooting outside and the power off and flickering, they still don't believe me. They somehow, being in a home, they didn't get a direct hit from this wave. So I don't fully understand. So some of the people that were in the house and some people who were in their cars, this wave didn't affect their psyche, so to speak, or maybe the protection of the Holy Spirit was over certain people, but it also had to do with being within a home. That maybe I do remember slightly that a basement, so maybe they were in a basement when this wave hit, that it didn't affect their brains. Okay. Um, Despite seeing me hurt, it still wasn't enough. They wanted to go outside, and I begged them and urged them not to go outside because of what was happening. The kids even went outside to see. I told their parents to the kids went out to see. I told their parents to make them come in, and I specifically told my uncle. I said, take your gun with you if you're going outside. I told my uncle, grab your gun if you want to go outside. So I remember when I went outside with them, I told him, he went back inside, got his gun, and went outside with me. So at least that he believed, probably because he heard the gunshots as well. Uh, as we went outside, I was being real careful, and so was he, as he was seeing things on fire, hearing shootings, seeing stuff, people screaming, etc. It began to sink in a little more. Somehow there was a clinic nearby, so I said, let's go in there and someone will tell you what they saw. I found this guy so we went into this clinic that was like down the street. I saw this guy there. He was on his lunch break or something like that. He was a nurse. I found this guy nurse and asked him. He was scared. Um, but but he told I had my uncle and my wife's uncle there to tell them. So I asked him. I said, "What did you see?" Because I never knew the guy. So if he said something and told him exactly what I saw, then my uncle would probably believe him. But nonetheless, he was scared, but said he was not outside when it happened. I asked another nurse. I saw another nurse, and her supervisor was behind her. So as she came from the front to the back. I kind of stopped her because they left the door open, and I was, wait, I gotta tell you something. Can you tell me what just happened out there? I want him to hear this. And she looked. I remember her looking at her supervisor. Her supervisor said, "Go ahead, tell them." Um, I asked another nurse if she was outside, but was scared to answer. For some reason, they didn't want to say what happened. Like they were scared. I told her to please tell my uncle and friends. They don't believe me. Her boss said it was okay to tell me and them. So she told my uncle and their other people and the other people that were there. As she was explaining to her boss, or just another nurse looked at me and saw my cut. So as they were explaining, the supervisor saw my neck and the shirt was ripped. So she saw it. She was just like she couldn't believe that type of scar and hat that I had. Um, as she was explaining, her boss or another nurse looked at me and my cut and scar and was like, "Oh my gosh," because of how bad it was. Somehow there were already stitches on it. So she was just dabbing it with iodine on it. So she was using that RNG, I think it was iodine, and she was just dabbing it as I'm listening. But I could tell she was wondering how I was not in pain. So this nurse told my uncle everything she saw that I had already explained to him. It then sunk in. I then urged him that we need to get back to safety, out of the streets. Prior to us getting to the clinic, he was witnessing the destruction and seeing the shootings, and the way people were evil doing all this. I then awake. So I write here some footnotes. I think this wave somehow messed with people's minds and their true hearts were revealed. Somehow this wave must have messed with the brain and or the Earth's magnetic field, allowing this to happen. I am telling I am telling, as I write this, I feel in the flesh the scar that I had in the vision on my chest. This is crazy. I touched, again, I mentioned this, but I just touched where the scar would have been, and it felt sore. I touched it now, and I don't feel sore, because this is the day after that I'm recording this, but I felt sore. Um, this must be confirmation for the vision. It was like the people who were exposed to the shockwave element were now ruthless. Also, depending on the thickness of the shielding of whatever they were in, house, car, basement, whatever, and those in the home were not hit so much, but their faith was, or it just hit people differently, depending on their walk with God or their walk with the enemy. So, guys, that was a that was the vision that I had yesterday, um, yesterday morning, which would be the 24th, July 24th, 2023, and I don't know what to say about that vision. Besides what I saw and how I saw it affected humanity, and probably the Earth magnetosphere is messing with their brains or whatever. They just went. It was like they switched. It's almost like if some of you guys seen zombie movies where they just totally switch and you lose all humanity. Um, Except they weren't eating people. They were just like, no, you're like, man, I can't explain it. So take this dream to the Lord. That's what I saw. That's what the Lord showed me. Excuse me. And share this with whoever needs to hear this, guys. God bless you. Links are in the description. Until the next vision or dream the Lord decides to give me. This was a vision. This wasn't a dream. But I don't know. It's about to happen, man. God bless.